What did Bola Tinubu do in 2015? He went to the north, picked a man that he knows that all the northerners are in support. As at that time, Bola Tinubu wanted to be president because he said it's his lifetime ambition. But he knew that if he, as a southerner, tries to take out an incumbent southerner, he will fail because nobody has succeeded from the same section of the president, incumbent, to take out an incumbent president. He went to the north and brought a man that he knew that all the northerners are supporting. And when he brought him, any combination from the south took out Jonathan. And he bided his own time. And he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027.
Really?
Yes. And it must be, by condition to the northerners, it must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support.
Like an article.
If the whole north is willing to support an article, why not?
Or
So that
or a Tambuwal.
if the whole north is willing to support, why not?
Or an Erufai.
Good. The person must be qualified, must have experience, and if he has experience in the presidency, it's an added advantage.
So guys, it's unbelievable to see how Kenneth Okonkwo just made a switch. Kenneth Okonkwo is vouching his support for Atiku come 2027 presidential election. He said he's not going to support Peter Obi because if Peter Obi runs, Tinubu is going to steal the election again from him. Kenneth Okonkwo believes Peter Obi is not as radical as he's supposed to be in order to defeat the APC kind of politicians. Kenneth Okonkwo has always said he needs a more radical candidate. And for him, Atiku is more radical than Peter Obi. Atiku, with all the allegations of corruption around him, is who Kenneth Okonkwo is vouching for. Sometimes I just keep wondering what is wrong with that, with our Igbo brothers, you know. The same thing Soludo did, you know, when Atiku Abubakar went to Anambra. Soludo refused to support Peter Obi and chose to support Atiku Abubakar because he himself, Soludo is equally eyeing the presidency. He believes if Atiku goes and win, he'll hand over to an Igbo man and possibly he's going to be the one. The same Soludo came out to say Peter Obi does not have what it takes to become president. Now he has been governor for 4 years. Go and check what Soludo has achieved. Almost zero. These are people who criticize Peter Obi. And now Kenneth Okonkwo is now seeing Atiku to be a more messiah than Peter Obi. So guys, what has happened? What happened? Why is it that the Igbos keep betraying themselves? Why is it that the North cannot do this? Many Northerners have even come out to say it is the southern turn. Once it's the turn of the North, see, the North cannot allow anybody to come and preach to them that an Igbo man should be running in that race. The North cannot allow that. But for us, the Southerners, we are always the one destroying ourselves. That leadership is not in us. We don't know how to be teammates, to come together and work together. You will always see 1 or 2 persons that will rebel each time an agreement is taken. And no wonder that Ahmed was very skeptical about this coalition, saying he is not even comfortable with this coalition because the question remains, will Atiku give Peter Obi the ticket? Now, obedience are saying it's Peter Obi or nothing. Now that Kenneth Okonkwo is now saying that Atiku should go, do you think Peter Obi should still be in this coalition? I think it is time for obedience to tell Obi to just quit this coalition as early as possible and know where you are standing. Anyway, guys, I'm going to allow you to take a look at this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Now, take a look.
For the Labour Party in the 2023 election, a politician and a lawyer. Thanks so much indeed for joining us tonight.
It's my pleasure, and thank you, viewers, for joining us.
Are you surprised that this is coming?
No.
You thought it's coming?
Absolutely. What do you expect when the ruling party has become jittery, that the party that would take them out with their incompetence and corruption has just appeared in the hemisphere politically of Nigeria? We are used to all these shenanigans. Now, let me make it very clear. The Supreme Court is very clear that the issue of the leadership of a political party is the internal affairs of a political party that's not justiciable. There's no jurisdiction of the court to interfere in the leadership of the ADC. And I had the opportunity of just going through the determinations. I'm sorry to say, low intelligence, low IQ. I couldn't see the provisions of the ADC that they enunciated. It was just in one, they were saying Article 9D. Article 9, if I can remember, talks about the rights and obligations of members. And in that particular place, they say the NWC has the power to waive the provisions of compliance to eligibility to contest election. And let me make it clear. You were interviewing Kachuku one time, and you told him, who is the chairman? He said, Mosu is, this and that. You asked him, if Mosu is not the chairman, who is the chairman? He said, nobody. Now, let me say, can there be any party where there is vacuum without leadership? So who is the chairman that is questioning the authority of Mosu? Because you have to have local standing before you even talk. And who is interested in being the chairman? Nobody. No alternate chairman. We did our due diligence. Every court case before we accepted ADC has been reconciled through ADR. That's why you're seeing fresh cases. No other case.
But look at what
The hand of
some
Esau
of the
and the voice of Jacob.
some of the
The hand of
determination.
what are they? And the voice of APC.
Really, you think they're members of the APC?
I said the hands of one Adeyemi and the voice
Because
of APC.
the locus is going to be established. Whether or not, if you are not a member of the party,
Yes.
whether or not you can challenge whatever is the ongoing in the party.
That's what I'm saying. They're talking about leadership. Are they part of the leaders?
But as a member of the party, can they challenge the issues in the party?
As in what locus do you have to challenge the leadership? Now, let me tell you what happened. I was present at the inauguration, and I witnessed that the whole NWC, the whole executive of the party, resigned on their own, voluntarily. Do you cry more than the bereaved?
So one of the determination here, on the number 3, it says, what are the key individuals involved in the merger,
Yes.
like the 4th, 5th, and the 6th, talking about Adegbeshola, David Mark, and Bolaji Abdullahi, were properly registered members of the 4th defendant, which is the ADC, to qualify for leadership position. So you said the question, can you build something on nothing? Can you be a leader in a party that you don't have a membership of?
And I am asking you, those people purporting themselves to be the claimants, are they the people responsible to keep the register of the party? So how do they know? What is their business? That's what I'm saying. On what locus? The executives are telling you that these are their members. And they resigned. And they told you these are the interim leadership. And you, that is not privy to the register of the party, you're coming to talk what?
Are you privy to the constitution of the ADC?
Are they executives?
No, are you privy to the constitution of the ADC?
This is it.
All right.
And they gave it to me.
Is there any place that makes provision for interim leadership of the party?
Now, let me ask you. Assuming, without considering, that there's a natural mishap, I'm not even going to the constitution, that consumed all the leadership of the party. What do? You throw away the party. I'm asking. Because all of them resign. So what do? Why do they use the word interim? Why do you use the word acting?
On what grounds also, when people say they are still members of their party, members of Labour, members of PDP, members of APC, but they are coming into the ADC and they say they remain members of those parties until further notice.
Those people are not part of the defendants. I have seen the resignation letter of David Mark.
Thanks so much, everyone, for staying with us. I'm still with Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo. So you're saying all of this gives you no concern. The membership is solid, and you are moving forward.
Yes. And
you're not deterred by this.
So, again, what I want to tell you is there is no express provision in any constitution that when somebody wants to resign, he must put it in writing. So you can resign by conduct, orally, or in writing. There's no place in the constitution.
So
if I become a member of another political party, automatically I've resigned from the other one.
When you heard about Mr. Abure's group in the Labour Party threatening Mr. P2B, what did you think?
What I think is that what you have just asked me is the internal affairs of Labour Party. I'm no longer a member of Labour Party, and let them sort out their own.
But you and Mr. P2B are a member of ADC now.
Well, P2B said he's still in Labour Party. So until he comes into ADC officially and formally, then I'll be able to take your question.
The APC and the government of the day, he said that whatever is the constitution of the people in ADC is of no consequence. They are wasted and of inconsequence. The people and the movement called the ADC or the coalition.
Yeah, who said that?
The government has said so.
You still believe this government? The government also told you that they are going to give you 12% increase in GDP. Have they been able to exceed 3%? This government said they are for the welfare of Nigerians. You know, I told my people, I want to travel to Enugu State to establish ADC, and I may want to stay 2 days there. And they told me I have to set aside about 800,000 naira. Because the flight, one-way ticket, is about 250,000 naira. So when you go and come back, stay in a hotel for 2 days.
Have you tried
and do other things?
Have you tried
Oh, beautiful. You know, I congratulate my governor for the inception of Enugu Air. I had made my booking before then. I will soon try Enugu Air. And I enjoined every Nigerian to come to Enugu Air, the state of peace.
You will pay for that advertisement. but the big question here is, how do you know Bola Tinubu very well.
Yes.
You know the APC as presently constituted. How do you want to defeat that tendency in our political climate at the moment in 2027?
Now, it is a very easy thing if people will yield to strategy and not sentiment. Give Bola Tinubu his own style, his own strategy, and he's back to Bodilon. What did Bola Tinubu do in 2015? He went to the north, picked a man that he knows that all the northerners are in support. As at that time, Bola Tinubu wanted to be president because he said it's his lifetime ambition. But he knew that if he, as a southerner, tries to take out an incumbent southerner, he will fail because nobody has succeeded from the same section of the president, incumbent, to take out an incumbent president. He went to the north and brought a man that he knew that all the northerners are supporting. And when he brought him, any combination from the south took out Jonathan. And he bided his own time. And he came in later to become the president. That is strategy. If my own strategy this time around is that I am going to support a northerner in 2027.
Really?
Yes. And it must be my condition to the northerners. It must be a northerner that the whole north will be willing to support.
Like an article.
If the whole north is willing to support an article, why not?
Or
So that
or a Tambuwal.
if the whole north is willing to support, why not?
Or an Erufai.
Good. The person must be qualified, must have experience, and if he has experience in the presidency, it's an added advantage. And when we put up anything from the south, that will push him through. Let me tell you.
But would that be fair? Would that be fair that there was an 8 years of Buhari,
Good.
a 4 years, if the case is the way you put it, of Bola Tinubu, and then now the South has not had a share of 8 years in a rotation understanding of Nigeria, politically speaking. Would that be a fair game?
Good. Thank you for this question. And let me use this opportunity to clarify. The term of the president is 4 years, not 8 years. According to Alex Ekweme, what they agreed initially is that this post will be rotated amongst the geopolitical zones for 4-year term. And it will, in 24 years, it will have completed. But when Obasanjo came in, that was why Ekweme contested for 2003 election. That was when he said it. When Obasanjo came in, he took 8 years. But what happened? When Yar'Adua came in, before he finished one term, he died in office. Did they not insist that he must finish his 8 years? The answer is no. You know why? It is one term for the president, and the 8 years is for the incumbent. If the incumbent is doing well, if there is a supervening event that stops an incumbent halfway, the other half is there for every Nigerian to contest. And if it goes to the other side will now spend 4 years. That was what happened between Yar'Adua and Goodluck Jonathan. Yar'Adua spent 4 years. Just take it 4 years. Of course, you know he died before the 3rd year. And then it was a supervening event that did not allow the incumbent to finish the 8 years. What happened? Goodluck Jonathan came. The North said, please, let us finish our 8 years. They said, no, it's a joint ticket. Something has happened. And this is the vice president. Treat it as a joint ticket. Let them divide the position now into half. 4 years for the North, 4 years to the South. And after, it will come back to the North to finish its 8 years. And that was what happened. Even when Jonathan wanted to now continue to do 8 years, the North said no. That will now be injustice. And they fought, and they took it back to the North. And the North finished 8 years. Now it is back to the South. And Tinubu has become incurably bad. And now you want to terminate his incumbency. Anybody telling you that it's injustice, if the North comes in, if the South comes in, and whoever wins in a primary election will take it for 4 years. Where is the injustice? It has happened before. So, and anybody telling you to bring a fresh Southerner to compete against Tinubu, a Southerner, is trying to tell you to zone the ticket to Tinubu, and Tinubu will win outrightly.
So you were saying that invariably that Tinubu's possibility of becoming or being re-elected in 2027 is incumbent on the opposition fielding the same candidate from the same zone. But that if the opposition wants to beat Tinubu and the APC, the candidate must come from the opposite zone.
Absolutely. And I'll give you the reason. In 2019, the opposition wanted to use Atiku with Obi to beat an incumbent northerner who had just done 4 years. Did they succeed? No, they failed. And what happened? Tinubu, strategically, in 2015, he used a northerner to remove an incumbent southerner. Did he succeed? Yes. Because that is
he conceding to the fact that the North has a more political weight in the power game?
No. Let's look at it this way. Somebody from your zone, if you listen to Olufalaye said his election was rigged. But immediately the people rigged him out. They prevailed on him that he is a fellow Yoruba person that he contested with. Why not let him leave it? We have not had a good electoral system. This election is going to be written, like I've always told you, in 2027. They have already prepared it. Have
really?
They done yes. Have they done?
Do you have evidence to that?
No. I told you 2023, there was technical glitch. And they have not given us the excuse to today. Technical glitch, by my own definition, is the process of suspending an election so that you can write it instead of transmitting it. And there is no assurance that you don't have in 2027.
If you say
so
that
if they write the 2027 and is a fellow Southerner that you're competing with, they will prevail on you. Please leave him. He's your fellow Southerner. And then that is how they will steal the election. So if you bring somebody from the Southeast, even if you win, they will steal it from him. Let me tell you the strategy that will make the Southeast man to be president. Do you know the Southwest has never contested election against an incumbent? Strategy. Because they know in Nigeria, if you don't have the establishment supporting you, even if you win, they will steal it from you. Olufalaye said it was stolen from him. If you ask me, I will say we won the election in 2023. It was stolen from us because we didn't have.
We won the election.
That's my belief. In 2023, I believe it. But they stole it from us.
Let me ask
and if you do it again,
Yeah.
they will steal it again from you because there is no incumbent to back you. But if you bring somebody from the north, nobody will prevail on him to leave his victory.
Quickly.
Because, yes, because he's not from the same side with you.
Yeah, quickly. How do you then tell Nigerians
Yes.
that the ruling party has said these people are spent? They've been in power. What new thing do they want to bring? How do they defend the failures of the past government, which they were part of? Some past governors, past ministers. How do you defend that the failures of this country in the past? You are coming and you say you want to redeem it. Will Nigerians believe the coalition and some of the elements in it?
Okay, let me give you an example. The worst of PDP now has become better than the best of APC. Assuming you talk about an article, if he can take us to Obasanjo days, are we not going to celebrate? Assuming. Because the performance of APC has beatified. PDP has beatified. Whoever served, for instance, in Obasanjo's government, they paid off all our debts. You remember? And we were not owing. APC has borrowed Nigeria into about 177 trillion naira in debt without nothing to show for it. We are enjoying darkness, not light. I've told you now, people cannot fly to go and come back. I've told you how flawed. Took away 500 persons in Niger State. The president has not gone to commiserate with them. I've told you how 500 persons were roasted by terrorists in Benue State. Now, if you get a president, assuming who was with Obasanjo, there was no security problem then. We were moving in the right direction. No debt, our economy became the largest in Africa. Assuming, wouldn't you be happy?
Right.
So when they say the same old people, please, APC should stop lying.
All right. Mr. Kenneth Okonkwo, thank you so much indeed for your time.
So guys, let me quickly take you through the reactions coming from what Kenneth Okonkwo said on Twitter. People are already reacting. And like this person said, this person repeated what Kenneth said in that video. Let me read it out. No Southerner can take out a Southerner as president of Nigeria. It is a bad strategy. It cannot work. ADC should pick its presidential candidate from the north to win Tinubu in 2027. That is coming. Kenneth Okonkwo is the only person I'm seeing now that is boldly canvassing for Atiku Abubakar. Nigerians, what are we seeing? This person said, what a shame Atiku has stated feeding him. What a shame Atiku has started feeding him. Can you imagine? Atiku has started feeding. Stop crying, please. Honestly, my God, this person said, what a shame Atiku has started feeding Kenneth Okonkwo. This person said, but a Southerner won another Southerner in his home state of Lagos in 2023. He beat him blue-black to the extent that they have to switch off IREF. You are liars. This person is saying Kenneth Okonkwo is a liar. This person said Kenneth Okonkwo will be very good vice presidential candidate to Atiku. I think that makes sense, He can be a very good presidential candidate to Atiku. Oh yeah, now let them go and campaign and let's see. Kenneth Okonkwo, go and campaign. Let's see you and your Atiku. This person said, Kenneth Okonkwo, your analogy is wrong, big time. APC chose Buhari because he has more voting bloc and more popular. In 2023 to 2025, the most popular and reliable presidential candidate is Peter Obi. Take it or leave it. Finish. Kenneth Okonkwo, hey, this is going to set him backwards in his political career. Because he had the opportunity to ride on the support of the Nigerian youth. Kenneth Okonkwo has lost it forever. This person say, but this is the truth. A Southerner can't take out a Southerner, and Tinubu will get far more votes than Obi in the core north. Atiku Obi is the winning ticket, or Tinubu will rule. Instead of Peter Obi to run as vice president, let Tinubu rule. That's what Nigerians have said. Let Tinubu continue. Not true. What is true is that the North will actually determine who becomes president in 2027. At the same time, that president they will make will not be from the North. If they try to make themselves president, that will experience resentment, and the South will significantly unify against it. Honestly, the South will unify against it. Shame that Kenneth Okonkwo, shame that Kenneth Okonkwo has condescended to all this. It's very shameful, very, very shameful that this is where we are. This other person say, this fool has already been displaying his stupidity to be prior to this discussion tonight. It's really true. One quick question to this loudmouth. Before Buhari took out Jonathan, was there any history of an incumbent losing in an election? I'll help you here. PDP was a victim of an overwhelming campaign that pitched it as an extreme corrupt party, vice versa. Jonathan, vis-a-vis Jonathan's administration. This is a bitter truth. ADC must field not. Okay, let's see how it goes. APC must field, ADC should field a northerner. This person saying he's got a point for ADC, but I really wish it's the other way around. This is a fact. This person say when you receive a alert from Atiku, when you receive alerts from Atiku, that means Atiku has paid him. Another person, as an obedient, I will personally campaign for T-Pain if that deadly, desperate, and criminal called Atiku emerges as ADC in the next election. Congratulations to Tinubu. If Atiku becomes ADC candidate, T-Pain must complete his 8 years as South President of Nigeria. Nigerian. Kenneth Okonkwo is just being stupid. Oh my God. Where was he when Peter Obi defeated Tinubu and Atiku in the last election? I don't blame him, Sha. I blame INEC. Hey. And this person said, they are the people holding Nigeria down. This kind of mindset. These are the people holding Nigeria down. This kind of mindset. Kenneth don't get Atiku job. I hope the pay is good. The greedy southern politicians will always sell their birthright to the highest bidder from the north, honestly. This one is shameless criminal. Just come out and say you support Atiku. Nobody is telling you not to. After all, it's your constitutional right. Imagine this one considering himself as an authority. Nonsense. He's seeing himself as an authority. As if he says he's going to support Atiku, everybody will follow him. Hey, Okonkwo, you must be mad to think only the North can win. What if the North support the South like we supported them? This is good. Another person said, what can I do? This person is asking Grok. Grok is the AI for Twitter. What Kenneth Okonkwo said about Northerner? Is it true? Answer in his simple way. Oh my God. This person said, it seems Kenneth Okonkwo's speech carries more import than the president in Brazil. All news channels with a link to the cartel is streaming it like it's a defeat for Obi. Well, Kenneth Okonkwo just expressed a wish. Look at the caliber of people. Does anyone look like his mate? Come to think of it, when Kenneth Okonkwo become an expert on political matters, when did Kenneth Okonkwo become an expert on political matters that he now suddenly has an opinion on every issue and believes must be the correct assertion? It's funny that this point he made is trending, and even those who were abusing him only recently are quoting him. Kenneth Okonkwo haywire with this load of rubbish. How come Jonathan's period and Tinubu's period are even likened? Jonathan had 1.5 term, and on the next and on to the next, plus he campaigned on 1-term president, and again there is Buhari with grassroots support. Conversely, so I don't know what you make of all this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Thank you.